just in. A bomb just went off in Tampa Bay. Something massive just shook the locker room at Raymond James to its core. The pirate ship got rocked down to the hull. The scoreboard might have shown a close loss, but anyone who bleeds red and pewter knows this one cut deep. A message blasted straight out of the press and lit the whole Bucs nation on fire. A leader didn't hide, didn't sugarcoat, didn't play politics. He called out his crew and dropped the biggest challenge of the season. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody expected the captain to change his tone like that, but he did. And that speech might just change the entire course of Tampa Bay's 2025 season. If you live and breathe this pirate life, if you bleed for the crew and the Bay, lock in, because this news is coming straight from the mouth of the cannon at Raymond James Stadium. Tensions thick in the air. Tampa was cruising right in the NFC South mix, sitting at a solid 6-3. But that 28-23 loss to the Patriots in Week 10 felt like a gut punch. It wasn't just a loss. It was a mirror showing what happens when you lean too hard on one heartbeat, and that heart starts bleeding. Fans thought this was the breakout year, that the Baker to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin connection would start torching defenses again. But now, the ship feels heavy. Half the crew's in the trainer's room, and the schedule's about to turn nasty. Bills up next, then Ram, both on the road. That's the kind of stretch that separates contenders from pretenders. Inside Tampa, it feels like the captain had to raise his voice to wake everybody up. And that captain, Baker freaking Mayfield. The two-time Pro Bowler didn't hold back after the game. In the post-game presser, his voice didn't shake. "I hope our guys are pissed off about this," he said, staring straight down the lens. "This isn't the end of our season. I know that. We've got a huge game ahead. Games like this, when you don't win, they should hurt bad." Those words hit like a cannon blast, echoing through one Buc place and right into the soul of every fan in the Bay. Baker didn't apologize. He didn't talk adjust. He didn't point finger. He demanded fire, demanded fight. That wasn't a speech. It was a wake-up call from a man who's done waiting. The fallout was instant. Local media jumped all over. Is Mayfield fed up with the team's effort? Headlined the Tampa Bay Times. ESPN called it the most intense presser he's had since coming to Florida. Inside the locker room, the energy flipped. Some players took it as motivation. Others felt the heat. But one thing's sure, nobody ignored it. That's the kind of line in the sand that separates guys collecting paycheck from guys building legacy. And Baker, now locked in for 3 years and $100 million, showed that the bag didn't buy him comfort. If anything, it turned the fire up higher. And honestly, you can't blame him. He's out there playing without half his arsenal. The Buccaneers' offense looks like a mass HEH unit. Running back Bucky Irving's been out 4 games with a bum shoulder. Chris Godwin, an all-pro, came back from a fractured fibula, tried to grind through 2 games, and now the pain's back. Mike Evans, the cornerstone, the heartbeat, broke his collarbone in Week 7 against Detroit and might not see the field again this year. And then there's Jalen McMillan, the breakout kid, 7 touchdowns in 5 games, sidelined with a serious neck injury. It's brutal. The weapons are gone, and Baker's out there improvising every damn snap. And it showed against New England. Don't let that 28-23 score fool you. Tampa got beat up in the trench. The O-line gave up 4 sacks. The ground game crawled for just 64 yards, and the offense went 1 for 7 on 3rd downs in the second half. Still, Baker kept the team alive till the final drive. 2 TD passes, 38 rushing yards, pure heart. He was the only reason that ship didn't sink right there. But one man can't row against the tide forever. The Bucs Nation felt it too. Social media blew up. Mayfield's the only one out there playing with fire. One viral post said on X, "No Evans, no Godwin, and he's still fighting. That's leadership." Others were harsher. "This team's gassed. Bowles better wake up. Defense can't keep bailing them out." Tampa talk radio went nuts, from fans calling for coaching shakeups to others riding with Baker's intense vibe. This team's standing at a crossroads. Inside the locker room, though, the message landed. Levante David, the defensive captain, backed Baker. "When your QB speak, you listen. He's right. This should hurt." Tristan Wirfs, the wall protecting him up front, added, "If your guy's taking hit and still fighting, you better follow him." That's the unity Todd Bowles is trying to rebuild, and fast, because what's coming next is a gauntlet. First stop, Orchard Park, to face the Buffalo Bills in the cold. That defense hunt, Von Miller, Matt Milano, the whole crew, and their offense, they can hang 30 on anyone. Then it's all the way west to LA to battle the Ram, playoff ghost from seasons past. The margin for error? Basically, zero. Tampa's gotta find a way to stay afloat without Evan, without Godwin, with a patchwork backfield. This is where talk turns to action. From a schematic standpoint, the injuries change everything. OC Dave Canales has been dialing up tighter formations, more quick throws, more screens to tight ends Cade Otton and Payne Durham. But without a deep threat, defenses are creeping up, choking the run game. The numbers don't lie. Over the last 3 weeks, Tampa's scoring dropped from 27 points per game to just 18, and third down conversions tanked to 31%. The offense is stuck in the mud, and even with a defense ranked 8th in yards allowed and 3rd in takeaways, you can't win without putting points on the board. The mental grind might be the toughest part. Guys like Baker run on rhythm, confident, emotion. When the teams fragment, the leader feels every crack. That's why his words hit so hard, because they came from a dude who doesn't hide behind the helmet. He's the first one to take a hit and the first one to demand more. He's been written off before, in Cleveland, in Carolina, and he rebuilt himself in Tampa. Now he's out to prove it wasn't a fluke. History says, when Baker plays mad, he's dangerous. Last year, after dropping 3 straight, he bounced back with 10 touchdowns and 1 pick over the next 4 games. Bucs fans know the fire's still there. The clock's ticking, and the NFC's a dogfight. One more slip, and the division lead's gone. Maybe the playoffs too. This upcoming game in Buffalo, it's a turning point. This is a character game. On one sideline, a banged-up team full of question. On the other, a leader who refuses to quit. If Tampa wins, Baker's speech becomes rally fuel. If they lose, the ship starts taking on water. This week's prep is everything, not just scheme, it's soul. Bowles needs to reconnect the locker room. Baker's got to keep that fire burning, and every man wearing pewter needs to feel what's at stake. That's where the pirate spirit kicks in. This team's never had it easy, ever. No trophy came without pain, sweat, and battle scar. From Super Bowl LV to every gritty playoff run, Tampa's identity has always been resilient. Baker just reminded everyone of that. Playing in Tampa means carrying that weight. It means knowing that even when everything's breaking apart, one last cannon blast can flip the script. So, Bucs fans, it's time to pick your side. Drop it in the comment. Fire the cannon if you still believe this crew can rally, or steady the ship if you think it's time to shake things up. The crew's gotta stay tight because the seas are rough, and faith's the only thing keeping this ship afloat. Tampa's never backed down from a fight, not one. This franchise was built on defying the odds, staring down the storm. And right now, the storm's here again. Injuries, losses, critics, but that's where the fire's forged. The same fire Baker just lit might be the one that reignites this season. When the world doubt, that's when Bucs Nation roar. We're pirate, we're fighter, and the cannon? Oh, it's still loaded. So what about you? You think Baker's fire can turn this thing around? You think Tampa's still got juice left to climb in the NFC? Sound off below. Your voice, part of this crew. In the next video, the crew's takes hit the air. Because here in Tampa Bay, the fans don't whisper. We shout with passion, with pride, with fire. Fire the cannon and let the storm come.